Hello and welcome to this very special Friday edition of the Filmmakers Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk filmmaking, indie films, studio films, everything in between, how to get them made, how to make them, and how to try not to royally F it up in our very, very humble opinion. I'm Giles Alderson and I'm delighted to tell you on the show today is Tyler Perry and Nicole Avant. Tyler Perry, I'm sure you all know so well. Nicole Avant, you will do very soon. And together, they have made the movie The 688. Tyler being writer and director, and Nicole being producer. I sat down with them and had a great chat. They're really inspiring, really motivational people anyway, and it's not surprising considering their backgrounds. But we talked about how you find projects, how Nicole brought the 688 to Tyler, and how a sizzle made a huge difference in getting the film green lit. We also talk about Tyler himself, how he gets projects made, what he does when he wants to do a project himself. Tyler's a one-man studio system and he doesn't need anyone else's permission to get movies made, which is such a great position to be in. He talks about that. We also talk about Nicole's background, being mentored by Quincy Jones and being married to Ted Serandos, the Netflix co-CEO. And we talk about the 688 itself, which is out now on Netflix. Do check it out. It's a brilliant World War II movie about a subject that, to be honest, is not often talked about. And I'll tell you more about the 688 just before we get to the episode and I'll play the trailer. But first, let me tell you about Nicole Avant. She's the daughter of Clarence Avant, who was known as the Black Godfather because he was the chairman of Motown Records. She's been hugely involved in campaigning and presidential elections, kind of a whole life. And she was also appointed United States ambassador to the Bahamas by Barack Obama in 2009. And she, in 2019, she actually produced a documentary centering on her father, Clarence, called The Black Godfather, which she distributed onto Netflix. The 688 is her first venture into scripted feature films. And what a start Nicole Avant has had. Tyler Perry, you'll know Tyler Perry. He's a one-man studio system. He's got his own studio. It's just incredible. He started off as a playwright and an actor, and he created the Medea series based on his play, I Can Do Bad All By Myself. He wrote so many plays during the 90s and early 2000s, but his breakthrough came in about 2005 with the film Diary of a Mad Black Woman, which he wrote and produced. He didn't direct. He mentions that on the show about why not. He then developed so many television shows, including Tyler Perry's House of Pain, which ran for 8 seasons on TBS. And then he struck an exclusive multi-year partnership with Oprah Winfrey on the Oprah Winfrey Network. And he's also been cast in numerous films that he didn't produce, including Star Trek, Alex Cross, Gone Girl, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Those Who Wish Me Dead, and Don't Look Up. His films, Tyler Perry's films, have grossed over $660 million. His net worth is apparently estimated to be $1 billion, making him one of the richest people in the entertainment industry. He's also received awards from the Academy, as well as being inducted into the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame. Some of Tyler Perry's films include Daddy's Little Girls, which starred Idris Elba, Why Did I Get Married?, Meet the Browns, The Family That Prays, Acrimony, Nobody's Fool, A Fall from Grace, Divorce in Black, and, coming up very soon, Medea's Destination Wedding. I haven't even included the TV work as well. He's just incredible. How he writes, how he makes his movies and TV shows is just unbelievable. He talks about it in the episode. I don't know how he does it. I'm busy. I do a lot. He just seems to do a hell of a lot. And I think the answer to being that successful is having amazing people around you. And it seems like Tyler Perry does. The 688, the film we're here to talk about, is inspired by the first and only Women's Army Corps unit of colour to serve overseas in World War II. And despite facing racism and sexism and grueling work conditions, they were committed to serving their country with honour and dedication. And these unsung heroes, because no one knew who they were until this film, they delivered hope by delivering mail to the soldiers during World War II. Like I say, it's written and directed by Tyler Perry. The film stars Kerry Washington as Major Charity Adams, and it was produced by Tyler Perry, Nicole Avant, Angie Bones, Tony L. Strickland, Kerry Selig, and Carlotta Espinoza. Rounding out the casts and turning up in various scenes are Susan Sarandon, The Breaking Bad's Dean Norris, Sam Waterston, and Oprah Winfrey. The 6888 is out on Netflix now. I'm going to play the trailer, and then you'll hear my chat with Tyler and Nicole.
Attention! Soldiers, I am Captain Charity Adams. Welcome to the Women's Army Corps.
Delma, my wife and I have been talking about the problems we are having with the mail and our soldiers' morale.
Mr. President, this assignment has proven to be a logistical nightmare. Even tried the Women's Army Corps.
You mean the White Women's Army Corps?
Well, is there another?
Unspeakable, unspeakable.
Adams, you and the 6888 Battalion are headed to Europe.
Should you open it?
The Postal Battalion?
They think the only thing we good for is deliver some damn mail.
Would you like to see all the hangars, ma'am?
How many are there?
All of them.
Oh my God. Ladies, we have been ordered to provide hope. The soldiers have not heard from their loved ones, and their loved ones have not heard from them. When there is no mail, there is low morale.
6888 Battalion! Forward march!
They did not send us because they thought we could do it. We are here because they are sure we cannot. We are no strangers to making a shack a home. We are at war, and when you are at war, you make do. Unlike some other folks here, we have the most to prove. Now is where you show the proof. This is our mission. And we will not fail.
Ambassador Avant.
Hello. I'm Giles.
How are you?
So nice to meet you. Real pleasure. Take a seat, grab a mic.
How's this one? Check, check, 1, 2, check, check, check. All right, we're rolling, guys. Yep. Okay.
Tyler.
Of course. A little bit of the director.
We need that. It's important. It's important.
Talking to my husband, I was like, I gotta go.
I gotta go. I've got filmmakers podcast to do. Oh, it's crazy. This must be fun for you, right?
It's great.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
doing stuff like this. So it was just always a delight, isn't it? When you get to chat about the film that you're so passionate about,
Yes.
meant so much, right? Is it the sort of stuff that on set that you kind of like? It's nice to sort of take control sometimes, but at the same time, it's really lovely to work with lovely people who respect what people are doing as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I've been doing it for a very long time. I got a great team who we have a shorthand. They know sometimes it's just even a look in that direction and everybody's like, okay, just the understanding of having a group of people who I have a shorthand with, I've worked with for a long time, and they completely understand how we roll. So it's been great.
I can imagine. That's a long, long time. Let's talk about how you two got together on this project, because I know you'd found it or they'd come to you, Nicole, and that's really exciting.
I know, it was great.
So tell me about that first moment when it first arrived on your desk.
You know, so my friend and fellow producer on this film, Kerry Selig, sent me a sizzle reel, and she said, you know, Peter Gruber and I have found this article. You know, someone sent us an article. We did a sizzle reel on it, and I've known Peter Gruber all my life. His kids and I grew up together. And I said, okay. Well, she said, I know you're so busy with other things. If you just give me 5 minutes, I really think you're going to want to be a part of this project.
Okay. Do people say that all the time to you, though?
Yes.
Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah, give me 5 minutes.
I don't know.
Okay. But then she told me a little bit of the story, and I went, what? I said, all right, send it to me, and I'll watch. I said, send me an email. Hurry up. Send me the email. She did, and I was blown away. I was fascinated. I loved the story, and it's amazing what can happen in 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole body was filled with chills, and I thought, oh my gosh. So I texted her back. I said, Carrie, I'm very interested, but I'll call you back. I'm actually on my way to my parents' house. I get to my parents' house, and I on my way, I said to my mom, I said, Mom, I'm going to send you something. Just click on the link, and then I'll talk to you when I get to the house. Of course, my mom, she was 81, so she's clicking. She's like, this is broken. This link is broken. I go, no, you have to click on it. I go, never mind. I'm on my way to the house. And then I opened it for her.
Right.
And she knew about Major Charity Adams.
Wow.
And she had told me about her, but I didn't know the whole 688 story. I didn't understand. I didn't connect all of it. And she looked at me and she said, you must tell this story. You have to tell this story, Nicole. This is so important. I said, no, Mom, I know it's a sizzle reel. So just hold on. I don't have a director.
Mm-hmm.
There's no writer. There's no other. I have nothing yet. She goes, no, Nicole, you have to produce this. I remember my mom, and I'm bringing this up because I'm in the UK. My mom was behind Queen Charlotte because, my husband, Ted Serandos, was at the house during COVID. And we were dropping off food to my parents. Uh-huh. And my mom, was kind of her own archivist. She collected everything and loved history, especially Black history, in America, in Europe, and throughout the world. And she said to Ted said, oh, it's COVID. You've been watching Bridgerton. Have you loved it? She said, yes, but you have not done enough on Queen Charlotte. I'm very upset. And so she handed Teddy a book. Mm-hmm. She handed him photos and letters that she had of Queen Charlotte. Mm-hmm. I rolled my eyes thinking, sorry. And then he gets in the car and he realizes, Nicole, oh my God, your mom is right. Wait a minute. Someone's going to end up doing this. If your mom has this information, other people have this information. Made a call to Shonda Rhimes, and the rest is history.
Wow.
And the reason I tell that backstory is because the producer in me really comes from my mom. I mean, my mom pushed me to do The Black Godfather, the documentary that I did on my father. She said, you have to tell all of these stories of all these phenomenal Black people. That if you don't tell this story, no one's going to believe it. No one's going to pay attention. We're always pushed to the side. Mm-hmm. We've been on the front lines of everything for so long, and other people get credit, and or the story isn't told.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not going to happen. So that's why I'm so happy that when I sent I immediately thought of Tyler because I had seen Jazzman Blues that was on Netflix, and she
said, give me 5 minutes.
I said the first 25 minutes of that, I thought, well, this is one of the most beautiful films I've ever watched. And so he was already in my consciousness. Right. And then I called Tyler. I said, Tyler, you got to give me 5 minutes. I have this sizzle reel.
5 minutes.
I said, just please, I know you're so busy. You're probably making 5 movies at once because that's how you roll.
Big studio man.
You are the extraordinary Tyler Perry.
Yep.
But I really think, and because Tyler loves and appreciates history, he loves and appreciates people, and he loves giving credit to people that deserve credit. This film was more not so much about, we have to tell this story, but it really mattered who told the story, because Tyler really appreciates his culture, his history, and he really appreciates the underdog. Yeah. That's what he does in his life. He shines a light on every underdog.
He's shy now. He's shy. He's gone shy now.
I'm very shy. Very shy.
But he really is, he's an extraordinary person. And I knew that this film had to be told by, these were extraordinary women.
Yes.
So their story had to be told by an extraordinary person.
And you found someone totally extraordinary with Tyler. What was your first impression when you got this sizzle 3 box? Because a lot of the time we do get, sizzles come through, and this is great for our filmmakers listening, is you can send stuff, but it kind of hits a wall or it's hard. And sizzles, some people say, yes, do a sizzle. And some people say, don't do a sizzle at all. First of all, what's your personal opinion on doing a sizzle? And then what did you feel about this sizzle?
It depends on the material. This story, a sizzle was so warranted. It became so infamous because it led to so many other things. But seeing that sizzle and knowing that there was part of the sizzle had archival footage in it of these actual women, that made me go, wait, this happened? It blew my mind. So seeing it opened up so many portals of thought and possibility and writing. And then I talked to Carrie Seelig, as Nicole mentioned, and she mentioned that there was several surviving members, and one was in Las Vegas, and I was in California, which was just a half-hour flight over. And I said, I got to see her right now. I went to see her. They told me she was 99 years old, and I didn't know what to expect. I'm thinking, okay, 99. I don't know if she's going to be in her right mind. I don't know what her recall will be. Maybe she'll be frail. Maybe I can get some things out of her. I'm sitting in her house, and she comes down the stairs. Her makeup's done. Her hair's done. She walks up to me, and she says, "Hello, Mr. Perry. I'm Lena Dara Cat King. How are you?" I was like, whoa. Yeah. And her recall was so sharp. When I started asking her about the 6888 and the service and what happened, she was so, her memory was just dropping bombs, and I'm writing them down. I'm thinking, this really happened? This isn't anywhere in the history books. Let me just, mark all this stuff down. And we had hired a historian, Kevin Hemel, and I ran by everything she said to him, and he said she's absolutely correct. So she was fantastic. But when we started talking about her service, the first thing she talked about was Abram, a boy that she was friends with when she was very young. And it's almost 80 years later, and all of this emotion flooded her eyes.
Wow.
And I thought, that's the way into the movie. That's how we tell the story. It's got to be through her eyes.
It's a lovely start. It really is. It really works. And that first scene, the sizzle, if you don't mind, just what is it about a sizzle that works for you? And do you appreciate when people send them rather than just a script?
I can't tell you I've seen a lot of them. I haven't seen a lot of sizzles. Maybe 2 or 3 at the most, and I don't remember them. But this one in particular, using different bits and pieces of other films and
archive footage,
footage all together, was 2 or 3 minutes. But it's set enough to make me to pique all my curiosity and go, wait a minute, this really happened? And if this happens, why doesn't anybody know it? And why aren't we telling it?
And I think that what you said there is really important. When you get something like that through, it piques your interest. Nicole, there's something you mentioned there about, when you get a story and producing, and so much of producing is finding ideas and finding stories. And it's so great that you push this through, because it's a story that really needed to be told. I didn't know about this at all. You see all the war stories and war movies all the time. And it doesn't mention anything about so many, but history and all this. And you suddenly like, there's a whole battalion, and there was a whole story on what they did with the mail, and it's quite incredible.
And they helped win the war. Because they really did. It wasn't just about, sorting mail and getting mail. If you do have low morale and you have no reason to get up, and you start losing that reason to fight and get up, and you start losing hope, and you don't hear from your family or your wife or your child, you really need something. And that something is love. That something is connection. And the only connection was the mail. And the fact that these women were able to make that divine connection with the soldiers and their families and their loved ones, to then give them the strength and the energy to persevere and win the war, that is a story that deserves to be told, no matter who it is. I was especially happy that they happened to look like me and they were women, but I would have told it if it was anybody else. It's a story that deserves to be told without taking anything away from anybody else in the World War II stories that we've heard. I'm not taking it. We never set out to take anything away. This is in addition. This was a part of the story that had been taken out. And Tyler and I were like, oh no, we're about to put this back in where it belongs. Without having to take anything away from anybody else.
Yes, love that. Yeah, because I've made a World War II film, and it's really difficult to get the costumes right, to get the props right, everything like that, the tanks, all that, to source it. Now, I heard you came across
chest,
thank you. The old chest as well, when you're working with Kerry and suddenly this chest arrives. But I really wanted to talk to you, and we'll swing back to that, about what you do in that moment when you're really passionate about an idea, which you did here on 6888. Suddenly you go, oh, this is what I wanted. This is the next story I want to tell. How do you go from there to going, right, we're now on set? What's Tyler Perry's process?
For me, immediately, I thought, okay, great, let's do it. Then I thought, oh shit, we're gonna do this. Okay, so immediately I started to hire the best of the best. I had an incredible costume person and hair and makeup and wardrobe people on Jazzman. I thought, I need you guys. We need to turn it up. Here's what I want to do. Bring me your boards. Show me that you can do this, and show me your passion for it. And everyone that bought all of these things for me to see, I was like, okay, I'm still in the right vein. I'm in good hands. So first, I wanted to surround myself with the right people who can make sure that everything was authentic, down to the buttons, to the shoestrings, to the stitching, down to what was on the walls, to the billboards, to the vehicles. And you talk about Charity Adams' trunk. What happened was we were our transportation guy was a World War II buff, and he would go out looking for all of these perfect vehicles to that would have been in World War II, because they're easier to get here in Europe than they are in the U.S. And we were filming that big battle scene at the opening of the film at the studio.
Your studio?
Yeah, my studio. Yeah. So he comes upstairs, and Carrie and I are rehearsing this scene with Charity Adams. We're going over one of her monologues, and the knock on the door, transport guy says, I want to show you something. We walk out into the hallway, and there is a trunk, and on the side of it says Charity Adams. We couldn't believe it. It was her trunk from World War II. He bought at auction. And
just randomly bought.
Well, he was aware of the 6 AAA because he was from Ohio, and he was aware that Charity was from Ohio. So he bought it and wanted me to have it. And I just thought, you are kidding me. So I think I call him God winks. I think it was like God winking, going, here, we're with you. You can do this. Yeah.
And also Charity Adams as well, sort of going, no, this, we're giving you the blessing as well. This is just pretty incredible. Yeah. Sorry, jumping back a little bit to then what's the process for you to go, okay, what's the channels that make this work? Not only bringing the best team on, but in terms of who do you speak to? Is it your team say, hey, we're doing this? Where does money come from? Or where does the studio, what do you do? Is it different each time?
For the 6 AAA, it started for me with Nicole and I talking, and I shouldn't say this, but I will. He's being married to Mr. Netflix himself, Ted Serandos.
It helps, yeah.
Well, no. Nicole was very clear. It's like, listen, we're going to do it in Netflix, but if they don't want to, we're going somewhere else.
Did you?
It is not a shoe-in that they're going to get this movie. What do we need to do?
I like that.
Oh, no, she was clear about it. She's like, oh, no.
You can take this anywhere you want us, and if they don't get it, we have a story.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're going out.
So if we go to HBO, I go, HBO will get it. If they don't want, we'll go to Amazon. It doesn't matter. I said, but this story is going to be told. Yeah.
I like that. It was almost like a bidding war. You sort of go, no, you want us, rather than often filmmakers think, no, we must get them. Actually, sometimes the way to think about it is the other way around. We've got the great story. We've got the great team.
You know what I always tell people?
Yeah.
Go where people want you. Everybody always thinks, oh, we have to have it here. We have to have it there. There are so many things that Netflix didn't do that are huge movies now. I don't need to mention it, but they're huge and they're great. And I always tell people, go where, if the door is opening, it's usually the right one. Just walk through. Everyone's so focused and they're so over-connected to the way it has to happen, who it has to happen through. This is going to happen. And I can tell you so many times Ted will come home from work saying, there was a great project that was pitched to us today. It's so beautiful. It's not for us. Might be too small for us. I go, oh, did you tell the filmmakers? He goes, yes, but I also told them where to go. I also told them who to call. I also told them it should land here. So not everyone is like that, but Ted loves this so much. And he goes, there's enough for everybody, but not one studio can do every single thing. So, if I think it's good, even if I can't do it, I will always open a door for somebody and I will always tell them, I think so-and-so might like this. Maybe Lionsgate will do it. Maybe so-and-so will do it.
Yes.
And I think that filmmakers need to always be open to pivoting from their ideas and not being so cemented in it's going to land here and it's going to be worldwide and you don't know.
And I had started when we started because we had, I have windows where I can do things, and the deal was taking a long time to get done. So I had spent $30 million already into the film before we even had a deal. I was just like, we are going, we will figure it out. It'll land somewhere, but we are all the way down the road. As Netflix was saying, what are you doing? Slow down. This is not how it goes. I'm like, I don't have time for your business affairs to figure this out.
Yeah.
I've got the money. We're going. So you guys catch up. And they were so great. This was like only their second time working with me, so our third time working with me. So they didn't quite understand that I will just go.
And they do now.
Yeah, and that's so interesting that you don't need them, and that's really nice because you've from the beginning distributed all your films yourself, and obviously coming from the theatre background as well, and putting stuff on, which is so interesting. Was that always something in you that you went, I'm going to keep hold of this? I don't need other people to make things.
I don't know if it was something that that I necessarily thought of in the beginning, because I thought it would be great to have partners to work with. It was great working with Lionsgate. However, I wasn't going to let it be a hindrance if they wouldn't. You know, I had this incredible audience who had built this entire play world for me, who had sold millions of DVDs before I even got to Hollywood. So I was just like, I'm going to trust that. So to have partners and distribution partners and streamers who want to work with me now, it's really phenomenal. But I'm clear, as Nicole said, I'm not set on this has to be this way. There are always other ways to do things.
And it helps to have great partners as well, right? So
and I can honestly tell you, Netflix is a great partner, because I was with Lionsgate for many, many years.
A lot of your films.
And constantly was told that my types of stories do not travel internationally. Medea would never work internationally. And to have a Medea movie be on Netflix, or have the other pictures be on Netflix, and see the results come in from around the world and all these different territories, I was like, you guys have been lying to me all these years. All these years. You just didn't want to invest the money in it. But having Netflix be there for this has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it must have.
Yeah.
Do they come with like a strategy? It's kind of, if you finish by this date, we're going to release here. Was this always the way with 688? Did you know the sort of route to when this will be on air?
We were just making the movie. I knew that I had a window. They'll figure out their window later. This is my time that I have to do it, because I had 7 TV shows on the air that I was working on as well. And I was writing all of those and directing those at the same time. So I was just like, here is a moment where I can do this. And if it doesn't get done here, then it's not going to work. And after meeting Lena, knowing she was 99, knowing I wanted the film finished so that I could show it to her, which I did get a chance to show it to her. She was 100 years old, on hospice, but still very clear. So clear that when I walked in to see her, to show her the movie, she said, "Oh, Mr. Perry's here. Get me some lipstick." You know, she had to have her lipstick. So I got a chance to show her the movie, and she cried and she saluted the screen. And when they were marching, her shoulders were moving, in rhythm. And at the end, she said, "I just wanted to tell you, thank you for letting the world know that Black women contributed." So
that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. You mentioned there about writing and the fact that you write so much of your stuff. How, with this story specifically, how do you go about writing it in terms of, right, okay, do you just sort of go, okay, well, I know this needs to happen by here. Here's my beat. Do you scriptment beforehand? What's your process?
No, I just told this story. I sat with Lena and I said, what is the story here? And the story just started to pour out of me. Right. Because after sitting with her for so many hours, I had the whole story. And I've finished it. I think it was 2 weeks I finished it and sent it to
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yes.
I know.
You're doing 17
Not
shows
normal.
at the same time.
Yeah.
The Tyler Perry energy.
Yeah. I sent it to Nicole and sent it to the other producers, and they were very helpful in helping me in taking notes and dialing back. I said, well, this needs to happen here. What if this happens here? What if we move this here? So they'll send me a round of notes, and 2 or 3 days later, I'll send them the script back, and they go, okay, yes, that's it. And then send me another note. 2 or 3 days later, they got the script back. So yeah, we went around and around with it to get it there.
It's incredible. It really is. It really is. I think we've got to. Yeah, you sure? Okay, good. Let's talk about like producing teams and working together on projects, etc. What is it you look for in not just projects but people? Why? Because like the teams you've worked with are incredible. They're constant, very similar, same people.
Nicole is the first time I've worked with an outside producer. All of my producers are inside. They've worked with me. Yeah, they work at the studio. Wow. So this was the first time, my first experience, and it's been wonderful.
Lucky me.
Lucky me. It's been wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful, because I don't want the drama. I don't want the foolishness. I don't want the back and forth. I don't want my time wasted. So if you're not clear clear on what we're doing, or if you sit in the room and you're going, what if we tried this while I'm writing checks and 200 people are waiting? No, that's going to be a problem. So not this woman.
No, I'm very direct. I know what I want.
Yep.
Tyler knows what he wants. And it was, I sent you this, read this, let's go. Okay, why don't we do this? Let's try. And then, but we were on and always ready. I don't like people wasting my time either. But it's the stream of consciousness that we have in common, that the creative just flows through us, and we both understand that the creative doesn't sleep. So the creative energy doesn't work 9 to 5, doesn't work 8 to 10. When people say to me, "I'm done, it's 5:00," like, you're not a real producer. Yeah. What are you talking about? You're not even a real creative. You're creative. If you're really creative, it's like musicians. My godfather Quincy used to say to me, all the composers, Quincy Jones used to say, all the composers, when we had no money, he said, I forget who said it to him. He said, we would sleep, but we'd have to sleep with a notepad and a piece of paper. I think Gershwin told them this. They said, when God comes to you and gives you an idea and you hear a melody, if you don't write it down, he takes it to the next person. And if he or she doesn't write it down, God just keeps going until someone's smart enough to have had a pen and a piece of paper to write down the melody. And when he taught me that, I thought, oh, he goes, do you understand what I'm saying? It's not a straight line. Creativity shows up. You can look at a window, a storefront window, and you can see a sign, and you're going to get something from that. You can see a child on the street smiling at his grandfather, and in 2 seconds, you're going to hear a melody, and it just comes to you from the divine, and you have to be ready.
My godfather, Quincy Jones.
I know. I loved it.
Gershwin told him that. I mean, that's this woman's life.
Right.
That's her life.
I loved
with
that.
Muhammad Ali in the living room, and just and she'll just casually talk about her childhood
like that.
And I go, wait, you were where and who? And wait, you were on tour with Michael Jackson when you were 15. What are you saying to me?
I have that photo.
Yeah.
I found it.
You
found it,
and I found it here in the UK. I'm going to post it. I'm going to show you right after this.
Wow.
I found he was here on the Bad Tour in 1988.
Yes,
and I worked on the show on the tour, but because my dad was promoting it.
Okay,
and
right.
and
Nicole Avant, everybody. Nicole Avant.
But I dressed like Michael. So I would ask him, so I'd have the tights on with the white socks and the flat. I look crazy, but it's fabulous. And I have a picture of me in front of the Eiffel Tower, getting dressed and ready to go with him and watch him on stage, and then here in the UK. So it's, but again, just like Tyler, and I have to say this, and I know he doesn't like it, but it's that I've been around so many people who are real geniuses, who really have it.
Yes.
And I mean this. And he has it. It's something very special. It's something that's touched from above. And they don't touch everybody. But Tyler has it. And that's why I said, okay, I have to work with Tyler Perry. I know the energy that works through him. And he does not take it for granted. He knows he's a conduit.
Yes.
Many people think it's them. The difference is the great ones know that they are conduits. That's the difference.
That's incredibly kind. Thank you, Nicole.
That's beautiful.
And so are you.
They're asking me
Thank you.
to wrap up.
Yeah.
But finally, some advice from the times that not only have you made stuff, but from being on set that you've learnt by working with so many amazing people, and the thing that you'd love to tell, not just your younger self, but the listeners listening now who are eager filmmakers, people who really want to make their films constantly. What's the thing that the success story for you as well, we've been the continuity of it all and the wonderful world that you've built?
I think being a sponge, learning it all. Like my first film, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, I didn't direct because I'm like, I don't know enough. I don't think I can do this. How do I do this? I've never seen anybody direct anything. I didn't go to film school. But when I was on that set and watching the director and the DP work, I was soaking in everything. So being a sponge and also learning everybody else's job, you can't put me in a box or try to hold me hostage by, oh, this person didn't show up. They didn't give me that light. I'll show you where to put it. You know, that kind of thing. So I would tell everybody, be a sponge, take in everything you can, look at everybody's job. Everybody's position is important, and it will really help you to cement your own state and your own path.
That's beautiful. Nicole?
Beautiful. No, I couldn't agree more. Actually, going back to the reason my father had me work on the sets wherever Michael was because he said, now everyone's building this stage. Now you're looking at Michael, but you need to look at the grips. You need to look at the engineers. You need to look at the lighting. You need to look at the stage. This man who built this stage and who put this down, he's walking back and forth all day. I was the gopher. So I would get him coffee and sandwiches. And I said, Jimmy, why are you walking across? Oh, and he's jumping on every part. And he said, because I'm responsible for this show. I need to make sure that none of this falls through. I need to make sure that Michael can be Michael. And my job is to make sure that this stage is built and it's strong and it can handle whatever dance he's going to do, whatever is going to happen. And then the lighting guys would go over and over and over again. Everything we're doing. I said, you guys, you got it. You got it 8 hours ago. But for them, it was no, because his show, what you see in the end is the icing, but the cake is what makes the show. And so that's what I love about, what Tyler just said is everybody's important because it all comes together, and to study everyone. It's the greatest gift my parents could give me was putting me in positions that were uncomfortable, places I didn't know. And my dad would say, watch and listen and learn, watch, study everybody, because everybody is valuable. It all just doesn't happen.
It's fantastic and great for our filmmakers. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us.
Son, I love it, man. Thank you.
Real pleasure.
Thank you.
Honestly, that was such a treat for me to sit there in a room with these two people. I've really enjoyed myself. I really appreciate their time, and they gave a little bit more than they should have as well. And Nicole was like, go on, it's fine, carry on, which was really nice. Tyler was really, really lovely. He even asked about my film afterwards, my World War II film, Wolves of War, which was really, really nice of him as well. He didn't have to. And of course, then they did a photo as well, which you can see on our socials. It's amazing to see someone work so hard in this industry and create a massive business. And it's not necessarily reciprocated by the critics or in the rest of the filmmaking world sometimes, I think. But my God, to have that success where you can do what you want. You heard it. He didn't need Netflix to go make his movie. He's not waiting for them. I'll do it myself then. And I love that attitude. How incredible. How incredible you could do that. And that is by hard work and tenacity and making sure that you're in the right place to make things happen and to have great people around you that they can pass on really cool projects. And this was just a sizzle. And as we've heard, Tyler would have made the movie anyway, because it's such an important story that needed to be told. And I suggest you go watch this on Netflix now. The 688. Kerry Washington's amazing, as always, but so are there so many amazing newcomers in this film as well. So there we have it. Our Friday special for you on Tuesday. I think it's this Tuesday. What day are we? That'll be nearly Christmas Eve. It'll be Christmas Eve. We've got our Christmas special, which we're recording this weekend. It'll be our Christmas quiz with our hosts having lots of fun. So join us. It's going out Christmas Eve, but to be honest, you can listen to that all through the holiday season because it'll be relevant. And then we've got Skeleton Crew, which is the new Star Wars TV series that'll be out the following Friday. And of course, you can listen to our amazing episode that's out already now on Tuesday, Beck and Woods. It's got Beck and Brian Woods talking about Heretic. It's incredible, so insightful of how a movie that big with A24, and they're so honest about what happens on set. I urge you to listen to that one as well. Cool. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. If you're lucky enough to rise up and do well, it is your duty to send the elevator back down. Have a brilliant Christmas. Have a brilliant New Year. Again, I'll be saying this again on Tuesday's episode, but if you don't listen to that before then, have a great one and think about what you're going to do next year, how you're going to move your projects forward, how you can do that. Take the time to be inspired. Take the time for yourself. And maybe for your mental health, get your head in the right space for how you're going to tackle the new year and making sure your projects are seen by the right people and you get the right team around you so that you can be successful. That's enough for me. I'm Giles Alderson. I'll see you on Tuesday. Take care. Bye-bye.